Hi, I'm Dr. Nova Rodriguez, your trusted guide behind life health secrets, dedicated to simplifying complex medical topics into clear, practical advice. My mission is to help you understand your body and take control of your health, one simple secret at a time. Right now, inside your chest, blood is flowing through vessels no wider than a straw, and if one of them closes, you have 10 minutes, maybe less. No warning. No countdown clock, no second chance. Heart disease is the #1 killer on Earth, and most people feel completely fine until they don't. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how arteries clog, what cholesterol is really doing inside you, and the signs almost everyone ignores. Because once you understand this, you'll never look at your health the same way again. Most heart attacks don't begin in your 50s. They begin in your 20s. Autopsy studies on young adults showed fatty streaks already forming in arteries. Not heart attacks, not symptoms, just the beginning. And here's what makes it dangerous. Arteries can narrow 70% without you feeling anything because your body compensates until it can't. That's when headlines read, "Healthy man collapses suddenly." But he wasn't healthy. The process was silent. What is heart disease? Heart disease usually refers to coronary artery disease. That's when arteries supplying your heart become narrowed or blocked. Your heart is a muscle. It needs oxygen-rich blood constantly. If blood flow drops, you get chest pain. If it completely stops, that's a heart attack. The blockage doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly, over years, and cholesterol plays a major role. What is cholesterol, really? Cholesterol is not poison. It's not evil. It's not the enemy. Your body actually needs it. Cholesterol helps build cell membranes, produce hormones, testosterone, estrogen, make vitamin D, create bile for digestion. Your liver makes most of it. Some comes from food. So why is it dangerous? Because cholesterol doesn't travel alone. It travels in particles called lipoproteins. There are two main ones: LDL, often called bad cholesterol, HDL, often called good cholesterol. But that's oversimplified. LDL becomes dangerous when there's too much of it. It becomes oxidized. It damages artery walls. That's when plaque starts forming. Let me tell you about David, 42 years old, not overweight, busy job. 2 kids. He felt tired, a little short of breath sometimes. He blamed stress, blamed age, ignored it. One morning, while tying his shoes, pressure in his chest. 10 minutes later, he was in an ambulance. Blocked artery, 95. Adversary, 55%. He survived. Many don't. And here's what shocked him. He had slightly high cholesterol for years. Nobody explained what that really meant. Another heartbreaking story. It was a normal Tuesday. Nothing special about it. He woke up late, rushed through breakfast. His 8-year-old daughter ran after him as he grabbed his keys. "Daddy, you forgot my drawing!" She had made it for him. A crayon picture of the two of them holding hands. He smiled. "I'll see it tonight, princess. I'm late." He kissed her forehead and walked out the door. That was the last time she saw him alive. At 11:17 a.m., he sent his wife a text. "Feeling weird. Chest feels tight. Probably stress." She replied. "Maybe get it checked?" He responded. "I'm fine. Just tired." That was the last message he ever sent. Inside his chest, something was happening. For years, plaque had been building in one of his coronary arteries. Slowly, silently. He knew his cholesterol was high. The doctor had mentioned it during checkups. Borderline, they said. He planned to exercise more, planned to eat better, planned to deal with it later. Later never came. At 12:02 p.m., the plaque inside his artery ruptured. In seconds, a blood clot formed. The artery blocked completely. Blood stopped flowing to part of his heart. He collapsed at his desk. Coworkers thought he fainted, but his heart was starving for oxygen. Brain cells began dying within minutes. When his wife arrived at the hospital, she already knew. There's a silence in hospital hallways that feels different, heavy, still. The doctor walked toward her slowly, and before he even spoke, she saw it in his eyes. That night, his daughter waited by the window, holding her drawing, asking, "When is Daddy coming home?" There are some questions in life that have no gentle answers. He was 39. Not overweight. Not that unhealthy. Just busy, just stressed, just putting it off. Heart disease doesn't always give you a second chance. Sometimes the first symptom is sudden death. No dramatic buildup, no countdown. Just a moment where everything changes for the people left behind. His daughter still keeps that drawing. It hangs in her room. 2 stick figures holding hands underneath she had written, "Best Daddy Ever." Now, let me tell you something important. This story isn't rare. It happens every day because heart disease builds quietly. You don't feel arteries narrowing. You don't feel inflammation. You don't feel plaque forming until it's too late. Right now, your heart is beating. Steady, loyal, working without complaint. The question isn't whether heart disease is serious. The question is, will you act before your family gets that phone call? Let's fix that right now. How damage starts. Here's what injures your arteries: high blood sugar, smoking, chronic stress, high blood pressure, processed foods, lack of sleep. Imagine your artery wall like soft skin. Now imagine scratching it every day. For years, tiny injuries form. Now LDL particles slip inside. They get trapped. Then something worse happens. They oxidize, and your immune system panics. It sends white blood cells to attack, but instead of fixing the problem, they create inflammation. And that's when plaque begins forming. Not overnight, silently. Slowly, for decades. At first, plaque is soft, but over time, it hardens. Calcium builds up. Your artery becomes stiff, narrow. Blood flow decreases. Your heart works harder. You might feel slight chest pressure during exercise, shortness of breath, fatigue, pain in jaw or arm. But most people dismiss it because it comes and goes until one day, the plaque ruptures and your body forms a clot. That clot can block the artery completely. That's a heart attack, and it can happen in seconds. Warning signs before it's too late. Before a major heart attack, some people experience chest pressure during stress, burning sensation mistaken for acid reflux, extreme fatigue, reduced exercise tolerance, erectile dysfunction, early vascular damage, shortness of breath climbing stairs. These are not random. They are circulation warnings. Your arteries talk, but quietly, the metabolic connection, high-level insight. Here's something powerful. Heart disease is strongly connected to metabolic health, high triglycerides, low HDL abdominal fat, high fasting insulin. This cluster is dangerous. Insulin resistance increases inflammation. Inflammation destabilizes plaque. That's why controlling blood sugar is just as important as controlling LDL, the scariest part. Here's what most people don't know. You can have 70% blockage and feel nothing. Nothing. The first symptom of heart disease for many people is death. That's why this is called the silent killer. It doesn't scream. It whispers. Myths that mislead millions. Myth 1. I'm not overweight, so I'm safe. False. Thin people have heart attacks too. Myth 2. I take medication, so I'm protected. Medication helps, but it doesn't erase inflammation from poor lifestyle. Myth 3. Only old people get heart disease. Plaque starts forming in your 20s. Myth 4. Eggs are the enemy. For most people, excess sugar and processed foods cause more vascular damage than eggs. How to actually protect your heart. Now, the hopeful part. Because this is largely preventable, here's what dramatically reduces risk. Walk 30 minutes daily, improve circulation immediately, cut added sugar, high glucose damages arteries fast, eat fiber oats, beans, vegetables. They help remove excess cholesterol, eat healthy fats, olive oil, nuts, fatty fish. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. Poor sleep increases inflammation. Control stress. Chronic stress tightens blood vessels. Stop smoking. This alone massively reduces risk. Small habits. Repeated daily. Change your future. The biggest risk reducers. Regular aerobic exercise improves endothelial function immediately. Resistance training improves insulin sensitivity. Mediterranean-style eating. Olive oil, vegetables, fish, nuts, omega-3 fatty acids. Reduce inflammation. Blood pressure control. Protects artery lining. Managing stress. Chronic cortisol damages vessels. Quality sleep. Poor sleep increases CRP, inflammatory marker. Not extreme dieting. Not panic. Consistency. Tests that could save you. Ask your doctor for LDL, HDL, triglycerides, blood sugar, blood pressure. Don't guess. Measure. Because what gets measured gets managed. If you have family history, start early. Prevention is easier than survival. Right now, your heart is beating. Quietly, faithfully, without asking for attention. The question is, are you protecting it? Heart disease is silent, but prevention is loud. Start today, not next year, not after symptoms. Today, your heart will beat about 100,000 times today. It asks for nothing. No applause. No attention. Just oxygen. The question is, will you protect the vessels that feed it? Because heart disease doesn't start with pain. It starts with habits, and habits can change, starting now. If this opened your eyes, share it with someone you love, because one conversation can save a life. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video. Please like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more.